10 to 11.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with MetamorphosisConnections.com. MetamorphosisConnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search MetamorphosisConnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on MetamorphosisConnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting MetamorphosisConnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's MetamorphosisConnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
This Halloween, visit and investigate one of the most haunted houses in Minnesota, the Boyd House, located in Boyd, Minnesota, just 2 hours southwest of the Twin Cities. Other people who have investigated the house heard audible, disembodied voices, seen shadows and apparitions, and so much more. Book your overnight investigation at BoydHouse217.com. No need for a hotel. You could stay in the house if you dare.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. A chance of rain tonight with a low of 52, then another chance of rain on Tuesday with a high of 62. Latunji's Palette is a social enterprise business built with purpose and fortified with love. Discover the best peach cobbler in the world at Latunji's Palette, 1400 Park Avenue South in Minneapolis. Visit the website at latunjispalette.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining me on this Monday evening. Thank you very much. And also, I hope everyone had a great weekend. It was a nice weekend. It wasn't warm, like it wasn't hot warm, but it was very nice. It's nice weather. We're getting fall, and we're getting into that. We're in that spooky season, so it's really nice. Now, this last weekend, I was over at the Maria Shah Halloween convention, and that was a fantastic weekend. Both Char Savoy and I spoke about Halloween. We spoke about haunted locations in Minnesota, and then we played some of the evidence that we've acquired over time. And boy, that was a lot of fun. And I had a number of people come up saying that they listened to the program, which I very much appreciate. One gentleman, he came up and he said that he listens, he likes it, but he's like, I didn't like that you had a repeat on Friday. And I didn't like it either. The fact is that I wasn't well Friday. I had something, I brought in something for lunch. And after I had it, you don't need to know the details, but I started feeling sick. Let's just put it that way. And wasn't horrendous, but it was enough that I felt I needed to cancel my appearance on Matt McNeil's show that day, because we were going to talk about that Bigfoot footage from Denver, and that didn't happen. I don't know if he spoke about it or not. And then I decided to cancel Friday because it was a casual Friday. And so we were just talking about anything. And I had all these wonderful responses about pets in the afterlife. So I'm going to do that this Friday because so many of you had sent me your personal recollections of a pet visiting you when they are in their afterlife, that I don't want to just let that go. So I do apologize for that. It was unavoidable. And knowing that I had such a big weekend ahead, I didn't want to mess that up either. But I think the moral of the story, and I'll tell you more about this later, is don't say that you're going to do anything, because normally when you say you're going to do it, it ends up getting canceled for one reason or another. I don't understand why, but that's how it goes. Now, this is a season, and one of the things that I get people talking to me about a lot is that they love when I bring on folks from different parts of the country, and we talk about all sorts of different things. But they also like to know what's going on locally, because first and foremost, we're here to serve the Twin Cities listeners. And we really want to let people know what's going on, especially when it's our spooky season. And not that what we're talking about today is spooky, but it's a big part of this time of year. It's an important part of this time of year, and we wanted to be able to bring forth other wonderful things that are going on during this period of time. So we have with us today Lily McNamara, and Lily is owns Lily of the Light. We've had Lily on before. They were on to do one question readings. You remember when they were on doing that? It was fantastic. They were fantastic, and I have them on tonight so they can talk about their Samhain Symposium. This is the second year that they've done this, and we want to talk about that. Let people know how to take part in it. It's this weekend. It's October 28th, and it's going to be fantastic. Lily, welcome to GhostBox Radio.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I loved one question readings. That was a lot of fun. Thank you everyone who's listening for tuning into that, because it's a hoot.
It is a lot of fun, and you never know what you're going to get. And I do find that to be a lot of fun to bring in all sorts of gifted people to help with that. But one of the things that you also had going on, we talked about it a little bit back in August. Can you believe it was August when you were last on?
Oh my gosh. Time. Where did it go? Where did this year go? But yeah, okay, August. Wow.
Yep. So just roll with it. It's August. And so you were on in August, and we talked a little bit about this. Now, the Samhain Symposium, it is your second year, right?
Yes.
Why don't you first of all, why don't we first maybe start with what Samhain is, and then we could talk about what the Samhain Symposium is. Then maybe that makes more sense, unless you want to go the other way around. However you'd like to do it, Lily.
Oh no, let's follow your lead. So Samhain is one of the high holidays of paganism. Not all pagans follow it. It is also our new year for a lot of us. Instead of like December 31st and January 1st. This is more of our new year. And it's all about the big harvest before winter comes, is kind of where its roots lie. But the metaphysical aspect of this is actually based in, this is when the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest all year round. This is when, like you had said, this is our spooky season. This is when all the activity is heightened, that even mundane or muggles or vanilla people who aren't used to doing this, they're always like, oh my gosh, it happened around a full moon, it happened around Halloween. And it's like, yes, that's when so much activity happens. I love doing investigations and events and everything during this time of year, because I mean, it's always happened.
It is always happening. One thing that occurred to me when you were talking was just, how many people who don't follow the lifestyle actually take part in the lifestyle without even knowing it, especially this time of year.
Oh my gosh, I want to say so many. Jack-o'-lanterns are rooted in Celtic paganism. A lot of the symbols that have to do with Halloween are actually around protection from spirits and dark entities, because the veil is thinner. And I'm a big believer in respect the roots, but all are welcome. Like,
right.
Make your jack-o'-lantern however you want. Enjoy, go trick-or-treating, whatever makes you happy. So yeah, this this time of year and this holiday, like I feel like it's for everyone. It's based out of paganism, but it's for all. It's everyone's holiday.
And it feels like another veil is thinning more and more every year. And I think you had talked about it in the sense that the veil of the people who live the lifestyle versus the people who haven't, and they're kind of dipping their toe in. It feels like more and more actually they are actually converting over to it. And if I may say, the Maria Shaw event I was just at, how many people who are embracing these certain aspects, and maybe not about paganism per se, but even just about the metaphysical aspect of it, the idea of, they understand what they need to do to fulfill themselves, which and this isn't meant to be a shade towards anybody, but just looking at them, you may not think that they think that way, just by sight. And it's not. It's really interesting. And could you talk a little bit about how much you've seen that change since the time that you started really living this lifestyle?
So I started when I was really young with my training at the age of 10, and I was in the spiritual and new age community. And that was, it was very light and love and fluffy.
Yeah.
And then everything just kind of morphed as I got older, and things became less taboo. People talking about paranormal experiences is done over brunch, booze and brunch now, instead of it being like
I like
they
the
need to
idea of
talk.
booze with brunch. I like that, by the way.
We're gonna have brunch sometime. It's gonna be fabulous.
Boozy brunch.
I love breakfast food so much. That it's no longer something that needs to be talked about in hush whispers, or
Yeah.
that you can only talk about with that weird friend who only wears black. It is something where you can say, "Oh, this stone, this amethyst helps me sleep," and everyone's like, "That is awesome." Um, Breathing and meditation are all common. So it's not necessarily paganism. It's like you said, metaphysical, spiritual, new age, all of it is becoming way less taboo. And I feel that is like a mass awakening for our community, that we're opening up, and it's like, this is something that you integrate, and it's not about religion. And that is I feel like that's a myth that a lot of people have. When I say
Yeah.
pagan, it's just a belief system.
Yeah.
It's not a religious thing that I follow. It's just a belief system. I also believe in fairies, in case anyone is wondering. Like I think all this metaphysical stuff is fabulous.
I do too, for what it's worth. And the idea too is like you said, it's a belief system. Same with not most, a lot of people that I know that are in this community. Spiritualism, believing in spirit. That's same sort of thing. I feel like we're talking to the same goal,
Yes.
quite frankly. And it's really interesting. And even today, I took part in an investigation, a paranormal investigation. It really wasn't one, but at the same time, it was really about what really became obvious is that thinning of the veil. The client had mentioned activity ramps up around this time of the year. Well, here we go.
Yep.
We just talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
What, if I may ask though, real fast, what do you think is the end goal, like on a bigger level, for more and more of us to buy into this spiritualism, this metaphysicalness, be able to kind of look at ourselves more directly and be understanding about we are in charge. We are actually in charge of what happens to us, because we're that we are taking better care of ourselves, mind and body. What do you think is the ultimate end goal with that?
I think that's a multifaceted answer. So, one part is self awareness, to genuinely be open enough to look at ourselves as a whole, mind, body, spirit, all encompassing, but then also to not judge that, and not judge others when they show us their real selves and
Mhm.
tell us what they need, to hold space for each other to share our experiences in an inclusive way that everyone's experience, whether it's, you had mentioned Bigfoot earlier, whether we talk about Bigfoot or aliens or spirits or healing stones or self-care and meditation, that it's all welcome and inclusive in such a non-judgmental way that it actually causes us all to thrive and learn together, while also individually growing.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, and I think acceptance is a huge part of it. And safe, and feeling safe about it. And I know, as for myself, and I'm assuming for you, you could correct me, that this is now. I mean, very rarely do I backpedal on the stuff I say about this in this community. I mean, to people outside of it. This is now me. This is what you get, and if you don't believe what I have to say, that is, number one, that's fine, but don't be a jerk about it. And, I think acceptance is kind of one of the things I'm hearing from what you had just said, the acceptance and allowance of us to be ourselves and do it the way that we need to do it, to be able to, fulfill what we want. It sounds very general when you say it, but it actually makes a lot of sense to me.
And it's the theory that all are welcome, but only if you're nice and full of love. If you are a jerk or prejudiced, you are not welcome. I always tell people, if you say everyone is welcome, you get that the jerks are going to line up too and think that they're welcome. They say, oh, well, they should know that it's not for them. I'm like, no, they're going to come. So I always say everyone is welcome. If you're going to be a jerk, though, I'm going to kick you out personally, and I bite. So
yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I see that, and I mean, that's just it. I mean, you gotta. I mean, I personally believe you got to give people a chance, right? And to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's like here's the rules. Because I mean, we don't have time to mess around to deal with people. If you don't like it, then don't take part. Don't be a part of it. Just go do your own thing, whatever that is.
Yeah, don't show up, because it's also, I want to honor everyone's time. And if you have to take time out of your life, your finite time and existence to share your prejudice with me, I'm like, oh my God, you could be giving your wife a compliment. You could be donating to charity. You could do something productive with your self-care. There's so many more options.
It's amazing what people don't realize, how much energy it takes to be nasty. It takes a lot more energy. We haven't gotten to it yet, but we're going to the next segment. We're going to go ahead, take our first break. We haven't talked about the Samhain Symposium yet. We're going to, in the next segment, we're also going to be talking about another number of other things. If you have a question for Lily, put it in the comments. We have so much to talk about. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
Dead of night and siren song, seasons change, shadows grow long. Creatures of the night come out to play, the veil is thinning day by day. Pumpkin spice and cinnamon sticks, baby mages and magic tricks. This, my dears, is the season of the witch. So move with caution if you dare, it smells like Samhain in the air. Whatever potions you may be brewing, Magus Books has supplies for your working. Visit us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or magusbooks.com.
This Halloween, visit and investigate one of the most haunted houses in Minnesota, the Boyd House, located in Boyd, Minnesota, just 2 hours southwest of the Twin Cities. Other people who have investigated the house heard audible, disembodied voices, seen shadows and apparitions, and so much more. Book your overnight investigation at BoydHouse217.com. No need for a hotel. You could stay in the house if you dare.
Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood restaurant in the Whittier neighborhood at 26th and Lindale. Nightingale has patio, dining room, and bar seating available. Plus, they still have takeout and delivery. Their menu has lots of delicious options like the famous Nightingale burger and fries, ginger tamari chicken wings, smoked chicken liver pate, and more. They're open from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with their full menu until midnight. So make the friendly neighborhood Nightingale your go-to restaurant in South Minneapolis. Place an order, make a reservation, and more at nightingalempls.com.
Now, it's just over a week away until Halloween. I mean, it's coming up, though, very, very quickly. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows. First of all, go ahead, go trick or treating, have a lot of fun, but make some time for us on Halloween, October 31st. We're doing a special 3-hour GhostBox radio. It's going to be a live broadcast from the building that Midwest Witchery and Healing is located in Stillwater. This place is a very haunted location. And what we're going to do is we're going to be doing part radio show, part paranormal investigation. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, if you're listening to me on the radio right now, for this one, you may want to check us out on Facebook because we're going to have cameras set up all over the place. And so we're going to be jumping from room to room. We're going to have guests. We're going to be doing a lot of really cool sort of paranormal stuff that night, though. So that's Tuesday, October 31st from 8 to 11 p.m. We're going to be doing a special episode of GhostBox Radio, and I cannot wait. We have with us tonight, we have Lily McNamara. They are putting on the Samhain Symposium that's happening actually this weekend that we promised that we're going to talk about the last segment. Didn't quite get to it. We better do it now. Otherwise, next thing you know, we're not going to talk about it at all. So, Lily, what is the Samhain Symposium that's happening Saturday, October 28th?
So it's an all-day event at the Crown Plaza in Plymouth, Minnesota, and it is a pagan event with a sprinkling of spirituality. And its goal is to showcase the diversity of our community and to have many different backgrounds come and teach and share space and share their knowledge. There's readers, healers, and vendors. There is a psychic gallery and lunch included. This year, we will have entertainment from the Minnesota Renaissance Festival Viking Encampment doing Norse folk tales. So it's wonderful. We have a lot of different classes about inclusivity this time, which is, as the listeners who have heard me before, is huge to me and very near and dear to my heart. So that's, in a nutshell, what the Samhain Symposium is my brainchild, and please, everyone, show up for its birth.
Well, and that's just it. It's a really incredible event, and one of the things that you and I had talked about prior to the start of the program was talking about the purpose of you making it as safe as an environment as possible, thinking about different people who are coming to this with different sort of reasons why it might be difficult for them on a lot of different levels, and you've thought that through, and I would like you to talk about that a little bit, please.
So I am disabled, and when I go to events and there's no accessibility, I always am like, well, don't really care about all of us, do you? With your all is welcome hooey.
Right.
And so that's kind of where it came from. And I looked at other events and I was like, how can I make this better for people who are differently abled? How can this be a joyful experience for everyone? And one of the things I did is that I have a designated space called the Quiet Corner, which is lit only with twinkle lights, that has pillows and comfy chairs and everything, so that if someone is stimming or having a panic attack or just needs space, they go in there. And there's like a sign and everything, and it's a small space so that there's only one way in and one way out. You feel incredibly safe in it, is a big one. And then this year I've actually, because a different event happened at the hotel and many of the attendees said, I am in so much pain from the chairs, I don't know what to do. I have chronic pain issues.
Oh.
And I said, we'll get different chairs. And so I talked to the hotel and I'm like, I need 2 kinds of chairs in every room. I have pillows throughout the entire event. And don't get me wrong, they're cute pillows that say like Beheaded Bed and Breakfast and the Sanderson Sisters Candle Company. They're adorable pillows, but they're meant for people's backs and bottoms. Like, sit on them. Please sit on them. Bring them back to me when you're done. But I want it to be comfortable for everyone. I want everyone to feel like I don't like this concept that because you're differently abled, you can't go to events and get the same out of it as an able-bodied person. And the fact that that's the norm, I was like, not at my event. I want And I'm big on, if you want something, tell me. If you need an accommodation, tell me. And if I can do it, I will make it happen.
That makes a lot of sense. And I for those who are interested in knowing, first of all, that this is the same hotel that Crypticon was at. We did a live broadcast from Crypticon, and I'm just going to be honest. It's overwhelming. The hotel, just that was a lot of people in there. And so when people, listeners might be like, well, why would you need to have a room like that? Why would you need to do that? Trust me, in a convention atmosphere, and especially one that is focused on energy, which is what yours is, there is a lot of energy. And even the people who are like, I don't have an intuitive bone in my body, I love them, that they're gonna feel it, and it might be overwhelming. Especially it might evoke something that they haven't felt before. I don't say that to scare people, but I say it that it's a nice thing to have, because that is a real possibility at these type of conventions.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's good to be aware of that you can have that reaction, and it's good to be aware of that there are resources available if and when you do. So it's like people who walk in and they say, like you said, oh, I'm not intuitive, I don't feel anything. They're the ones hyperventilating in a corner. And it's like, no, we have a designated space for you so that you do not feel, awkward or anything going, oh, this is new and uncomfortable or anything. If you're feeling anything that's overwhelming, we want you to, have a spot to process that.
So one of the things that is going to be available is you're going to have vendors. Tell me about the vendors a little bit.
A lot of them are artisan. Two really cool new vendors are Goth Girl Gourmet, who will have baked goods. And I am elated to say I have so many food allergies. She is making something so that I can actually eat it. So I am elated that there will be options for people with allergies. And then also Jaybird Wines will be having mead there. So
wow.
That just makes me happy. I don't drink alcohol, but I love the way mead smells. And so it makes me happy to think that people are going to just enjoy the delicacies. And then there's artisan candles and spell kits, and we will have 2 readers and a healer there doing Reiki. It's a bunch of different metaphysical, occult, and pagan wares, and almost all of them are artisan, which makes me happy.
That is great. And I haven't had mead in so long. I don't even remember what it tastes like. What does it smell like? What does it smell like that makes you really like it?
Okay, so there was this mead this past weekend up at their chili cook-off, believe it or not, and it was pineapple, and it had this like tart tang smell, but it was really sweet, and I was just like, this smells like candy. So I love it. But now that you said that, I'm picking you up some.
Are you?
Yes.
All right. I'll take you up on that. I'm looking at and I'm putting on the screen for those who are interested in seeing the website. You can go to lilyofthelight.com, and on there you can find the Samhain Symposium. But I'm looking on there. I saw you during the break. I saw you laughing during the Megas Books ads because Brianna, she got very creative during that one.
She is an artistic human. I love it. And I recognized her voice. I was like,
right away.
That's right, baby. Do it.
Did you recognize that the cackle or afterwards?
After the cackle. But shortly after, I was like, I know that sound.
I love that cackle. Yeah. So no, a lot of, and that's the thing. A lot of us have mutual friends, and we all kind of, and it's kind of nice to see new names there and stuff. And like you said 2 tracks of programming, right?
So there's 2 tracks of indoor programming, and weather permitting, there will be an outdoor track of programming.
Wow. Nice. Do you know how the weather's going to look?
So yesterday it said snow showers, which made me say a lot of words that I can't say on the radio.
Oh, I have my finger on the dump button as you speak. Yeah.
Today it shows that it's going to be around 40 when the outdoor programming is going to happen, and I'm like, we're Minnesotans, we're hardy. Come on
Oh,
now,
yeah.
people. There'll be a fire. We can do it.
Yeah. 40 in Minnesota is like is kind of like 60 for like California or something, in terms of how we handle it at the very least, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like a light jacket is fine because you're not out there for a long time. And again, there'll be a fire going. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then like you said, for the certain amount for any registrant or just for certain packages that you see, I go back to the food that you get the get the lunch. Wow. I mean, I've trust me, I've been listening to everything else you said, but I'm like, where do you get the lunch? Wow, isn't it? I need help.
So, one of the things about me wanting everything to be inclusive is that I made it possible that everything was covered under one price. And so you get everything. There's no add-ons. I hate going to an event after you buy a ticket and then everything else costs money there. And so for the $79 for the whole day, you get the sandwich buffet, which I am told is absolutely fabulous.
I bet.
And you get the psychic gallery also, which is normally $25 to $50 extra at events. And so for the one price, you get the lunch included, and you get the psychic gallery and also the entertainment. You do not have to buy separate tickets or passes to see the Norse folk tales being acted out by the Viking encampment.
That's really good. That's really nice. I like that. And we talked about this last year too, that it was really nice that you've thought about all of those situations and that you were really cognizant of that, because as somebody who goes to a lot of conventions, and especially my background a lot is like the sci-fi conventions, like the Doctor Who conventions and stuff, anything that has media now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything. If you want to blink at the convention, you're going to need to have like a special package for that. I mean,
Yeah.
I also understand that it's, they're bringing in, some big names, and that's what people really jive over. I personally don't. But I do understand that, but it is nice that that it's not complex. You're not going to be missing out on anything because you didn't look at program D of the the sponsorship level or whatever else. So I think that's really cool, and I do like the idea of the free lunch, or the lunch included, because you just it's a very nice way to think of everybody. I really do like that.
Yeah, and if anyone needs dietary like restrictions or something, gluten-free, vegetarian, like as long as they tell me, like shoot an email, we have the chef make other food so that it's not cross-contaminated. I get them to do vegetarian. They do not offer a vegan option. I believe with enough harassment, and you all know that I will push until I die. I believe I'll get it next year or the year after. I'm wearing them down. I swear I am.
Well, you don't know that for certain until, like, if they turn a corner and they see you walking and they start to frown. That's when you got them down.
Yes,
that's
they
when,
do the sigh.
yeah. That's still like, hi, Lily. So that's you're okay with them. What you're waiting for is they turn a corner like all their spirit has just, which is odd of what you do, and all their spirit kind of like gets sucked out of them when they see you. So, but it's a good way, because you're only advocating for the people coming to your event. So
Anything to serve my community. I always tell people I am happy to be the villain if it means I get to help you. If it means I'm the biggest bee in the room, I'm okay with that. If it means that you get the accommodations you need, because a lot of people are too shy to be like, hey, I can't walk. Can someone get me a chair or something? I am the person. You've seen me do it in public. Excuse me, can I have? And I'll just like announce it to a room until I get it.
yeah, I've seen that. So yeah, so that's good. Hey, so we got a couple minutes before we go back to the next break. But what have you learned from your first event last year that you've implemented into this year's event?
It takes a village. As much as I run this and bankroll it and it's my brainchild, it is not done alone. It is never done alone. I could not do it without the volunteers, vendors, presenters, readers, healers, sponsors. Like, there is a giant list of what makes even the smallest events possible. And while I've always been appreciative of that, I didn't realize it until after my first year. I'm like, oh my gosh, it takes dozens and dozens of people to make an event fabulous. It takes a village, and we have to be an amazing village. And I quite honestly think my village is the best.
Well, and the thing is too, is often you find people who take part in the event that's what inspires them to want to help. Not because, oh gosh, this thing needs help, but more because I love what you're doing. I love what this stands for, and I don't want to just be an attendee. I want to help make a difference in this.
Yes, several volunteers came forward after last year, and they're like, I just want to be part of the cause. And I'm like, suit up, baby, we're doing it.
Careful for what you wish for. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, it's true, and I've found it on the stuff that I've worked on, all the stuff I've worked on, because it's about vision, isn't it? And it's about people buying into your vision, and that it's very humbling. At least speaking for myself, that people actually think enough about what we want to do, what we want to spearhead, how we want to do it, what our vision is, that they want to come on and not try to take it over, but actually want to help you reach that and be a part of it. That's one of the most amazing feelings when you have that take place.
Yes, I fully agree. I am blown away with how much faith and trust people have in me to make an event that's safe, to keep it running, on schedule, to do all these things, and all of their support is what makes it possible. And the fact that I'm trusted to do that with hundreds of people is just, it blows me away. I'm so grateful. I mean, like, I work very hard to make it happen, but holy moly, like, thank you everyone for believing in this.
Absolutely. We're gonna be continuing to talk about this Samhain Symposium, but for those of you who want to check it out, take a look at it and stuff, go to lilyofthelight.com. That's LILY of the light.com. And there, I'm going there right now. I just want to see if I can. There's going to be a link on the homepage for the Samhain Symposium, isn't there, Lily?
Yep, there's a big button that says Samhain Symposium.
It sure is. It sure is. It's right there, helping people heal and be holistic heroes. We're going to be talking more with Lily about the event here, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to take our next break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about the differences in some of these conventions a little bit, so people have a kind of understanding of that. And also, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Feeling like people just don't get the vibrant rainbow unicorn that is your celestial essence? Have you been wondering how you stepped into this infernal, mundane timeline full of muggles, NPCs, and toilet paper shortages? Here at Magus Books and Herbs, we get you, and are staffed with real-life unicorns just waiting to help you rediscover your shine. So come explore your magical side with books, herbs, incense classes, and more at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis, or online at magusbooks.com.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Hello, I'm Jody, also known as Witch Jody on social media. I opened Midwest Witchery and Healing in historic Stillwater because as a nurse, I love to help others. When you come and visit Midwest Witchery and Healing, you will find everything from divination and magical services, classes to ritual tools, jewelries, handcrafted candles, witchy gear, and much more. My store is a safe environment for all on their own unique path. Look for the purple door. Find out more at MidwestWitcheryHealing.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. A chance of rain tonight with a low of 52, then another chance of rain on Tuesday with a high of 62. Latunji's Palette is a social enterprise business built with purpose and fortified with love. Discover the best peach cobbler in the world at Latunji's Palette, 1400 Park Avenue South in Minneapolis. Visit the website at latunjispalette.com.
And join me tomorrow on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We're going to have on Michael J. Warden. We've had him on a number of times. He's an author. He's a good guy. We're going to have him on. We're going to stop by. We're going to talk a little bit about aliens, maybe anything else that's on his mind. He was on the Travel Channel series Haunted Hotels, and he's a great guy. Whatever's on your mind, put it in there as well, because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of spooky stuff that we can talk about here. So that's going to be tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to having Michael on. It's been a little while now. And that's the thing that makes me laugh, of course, is that this week I debuted spots, commercials on AM 950 that says who's going to be on the show this week. And out of the 4 people I put on there, I think we're still going to have 2 of them. The first time ever I've had a couple people cancel on me. So immediately the commercial is out of date. But we're still going to run it anyway as being the information superhighway that we are. But I like, of course, the first time I do this, and I've been told by Chad, who runs the station, I've been told by other people, you need to do this. You need to have these commercials. You need to let people know what's coming up. I do it on Facebook, but you need to have it on the air. And I do it, and people are jumping ship on this thing, as far as the week. This week is like the Titanic, I guess. But doesn't matter, because we have Lily McNamara with us. Lily, you haven't jumped shipped on me. That's I appreciate that.
I am your ride or die, Greg. I'm here till the bitter end. But no, I feel you. I have actually postponed the printing of the Samhain Symposium program because, just today, another presenter was like, I have a family emergency. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'm not printing 100 of these things until last possible second.
How long? I'm getting nervous on your behalf. How long is that going to take? You're running out of time. Do you not know this?
So, oh my gosh, it's less than a week. I keep telling myself, I'm like, I can't believe it's less than a week away on October 28th. I'm going to wait until Wednesday evening, and the event is on Saturday. And then I'm hoping that, 72 hours is the magic number.
You got to do it at some point. So, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. And Crunchy Soap and Home, Emily, not Crunchy Soup, as I've been calling her for too long. She's just like, it'll work out. Keep going, Greg. I try every day. Every day's a battle, but just moving the rock forward, or if, as Lily's been at the studio, down the stairs, and then move it back up the stairs when you're done for the evening. So, you got that going for you. We've been talking, and we put it into the chat for those of you who are watching us on Facebook. Put in the URL for Lily's website, lilyofthelight.com. Go there. You can not only see how to get tickets for the Samhain Symposium that's this Saturday, October 28th, but you can see everything else that Lily offers as well.
Yay! Yes, please.
This is where you talk in the interview. And honestly, Lily, I never thought I'd have to prompt you to talk.
My! I was like, smile. small. You can tell that it's less than a week away from a big event because my brain is sitting here going in the background like there's a to-do list. I have to make
Oh, yeah.
signs. What was that thing I had to do? So there was an error on my face that Greg saw, and he's like, "Hey, you chatty."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and I like you said, I've done sort of these events too, and it's like as much as I like, I'm sure as much as you like doing the show and being guests, and I appreciate it. I'm sure there is like, but I can also be doing this right now. I could be doing this right now, and it's no disrespect to anybody. It's just that you have a lot of stuff to get done. So yeah, I totally get it.
and I think that's actually a good segue. No matter what size event you attend, there are at least, and I am not exaggerating, 1,000 moving pieces for the host.
Oh yeah.
There are dozens of posts that they have to monitor across several platforms. There is the venue, there is the parking, there is the marketing, there's all these different things. And so when people go to smaller events, I feel like they go, "Oh, this must have been just whipped up," and it's no, none of us are whipping. None of us are whipping them up.
No.
All of them are a labor of love. The smaller ones, I feel, are lovely to be intimate. You host a monthly meetup that's more intimate. And I think that's great for people who are dipping a toe in or just want to like talk, like given a forum to have open discussion, where they can go somewhere and talk to like-minded people. And I feel like that's small events is where it's at for that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that that's a good place for people.
It is. I mean, what what you're referring to is Ghost Stories and Beyond, and I mean, the point of it is, well, it's a different sort of thing than what you're doing. Sometimes we'll have people come in and talk, and they might also vendor a little bit as well, or the purpose when you get a speaker in is for the speaker to be able to not only impart information but also to promote themselves. I mean, that's a big part of it. But even that is just, there are a number of things, but then like for us, we move on to like our event at the Anderson House with Dave Schrader. And it's like, I think Shar, you and I are on the same page about how do we want to keep plussing these events. And, Crunchy Soup over here, Emily, she did Witchy Weekend in St. Croix, and I was a part of that. And that was her first time doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, that was the first time that you had done at least an event or at least that event. And that's another one that is just like, it was really good. There's just so much to think about.
That was her event. Emily, if you're listening, your social media was on point. I saw it several times from several different people, and the tags were awesome. Not to sidetrack, but you did a great event. All the pictures that were posted live during were impeccable. Thank you. You could tell that you put a lot of work into it. I couldn't go because I was working, but I mean, I saw the social media. I didn't know it was Crunchy Soap Lady, but it is. And yeah, so as someone who didn't go, it was an amazing event, just like from the outside on the social media aspect of it.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Very good. At the end of the day, they had one of the best speakers I've ever heard at one of these events. He spoke at 5, a little before 5. He was amazing. One of my favorites.
I love it.
It was me, actually, Lily. It was me. I was the speaker.
I love it. You have to be able to toot your own horn. You have to.
No one else will.
And that's the thing when people like about events, you have to be empowered enough, especially if you're running an event, to brag about your event, to brag about the people at your event, to be able to advocate for everyone. Like people are like, "Wow, you're really like confident." And I'm like, "I'm confident about my event." And if it's a good hair day, if the hat's looking good, I'm confident about myself. Yep. But like we have to we are our own hype men, and we have to be.
And it's tough. It's tough. I don't know about you. I mean, but for me, I'm not a promoter. I am, but I'm not. There's a certain point where I'm just like I'm now bothering everybody on the planet Earth. But you can't think that way. If you wanted to be successful, you have to keep going. I mean, I think there is a certain point when it becomes ridiculous, but it was it still is something that you have to do. Now, Emily does have a question for you, and she wants to know what's been the hardest part of event coordinating for you.
So there are two big things. I run a large event that's at a hotel and the lunch is included. This means it's expensive. It's an expensive event. And finding sponsors who are willing to give money for whatever you want to give, social media posts, vendor booth, whatever, that's really difficult. Most people don't, unfortunately, do not see the value in giving money to create an event for the community.
Yeah.
So sponsors is a huge hurdle. For me, getting I with you did a witchy event. I'm gonna guess you witchy woo woo like the rest of us. It's hurting cats. This mentality are a lot of us are laid back, little hippy dippy. Nothing wrong with that. Is really hard for us to herd. You know, I have this year I have 14 vendors, I have 12 presenters, I have a musician, I have an acting troupe, I have all of those people need to be approved of and then given reminders and then given follow-ups. And so those are the two big things is money and hurting a bunch of other people because you may have a vision in your head of what it's going to look like, but other people are not going to respond to you in time, not going to pay their vendor booth fee on time. All of that is just very real. I am Emily, if you ever want to talk, I always tell people I want to be very clear, and I tell everyone who works with me up front, I am a dictator. My events are run militarily. I am incredibly strict. And you want to know what? Every single vendor, every single presenter last year thanked me for my first year. They said, this is run so smoothly. And I said, the OCD lives here, and I'm okay with that. If you run an event really strictly, it goes better. People think if you're laid back, everyone's going to like you. No one's going to know where to put their car or their table. No one's going to like you.
That's a super valid point, and I'm sure that I'm sure there hasn't been that many beatings of people that have crossed your path during your dictatorship. But at the same time, honestly, I've seen conventions run by people who are wonderful people, but they are soft, and this isn't about being everyone's friend. It's about being getting it done and everyone being on the same page. And as we're kind of running out of time here, we still have a few minutes. But one thing I want to bring up that you talked about, which I think is really difficult to get past, at least I feel it is the idea of people who think if you want to run something on the internet, it should be free because that's the expectation. And that is something that I've run into in different lives that I do, different things where I'm providing like a live Q&A with somebody, a big name like Nick Groff from the Travel Channel. Nick Groff doesn't think that the internet should be free. He still wants to be paid, but trying to get people to take part in something like that or even pay for like advertising on your page or something like that. Well, it's the internet. It's, that's what everyone does. It's, they help each other out. Well, helping each other out doesn't pay the bills either. Have you run into that?
I have. And a lot of people say, well, it's not worth it because I'm not making money off of it. And it's like, well, for events, that's not the point. Like being a sponsor is not about you making money. It's about you giving back to the community. And so those are the sponsors that I cultivate. The ones who are like, yeah, let's do this for the community. I have a saying, and it is fee, a fair exchange of energy. So anyone who says, I want something for free, I say, I always take a fee, and it's a fair exchange of energy. And sometimes that is money. Sometimes that is promos. It's a bunch of different things. And so I believe that everything is a fee because that is a fair exchange of energy. It's a balance, and that's what it should be. It shouldn't be everyone giving with no, food too much, Greg. I like food too much. I like to eat. I need to be paid so I can eat more.
Yeah, right. Well, and like Chad, who runs the station, who owns the station, I always like what he says. It's a matter about being sustainable as well. I mean, it's if you don't have people buying tickets for your Samhain Symposium, you can't be sustainable. If we don't have folks who want to advertise with us, and it's not because they need to advertise with. It's like that is that fair exchange. We don't want people to advertise with us if we don't think that we can help them. If we don't think they're going to get something out of it, the equal to what we're getting out of it, or better. Has to be equal or better.
Yes.
So, turned into marketing 101, didn't it, Lily? I didn't expect that, but we never know where we go when we talk. So
no topic is out of bounds for us, Greg. Anything and everything under the sun and beyond.
And if anyone tuned in for paranormal tonight, forget it. Not happening. Not happening. We're talking about social media and all that good stuff. But it's important too. And it's but I mean, this is why your events are successful, and you've really thought that through. And I mean, you're just a couple days away now. I mean, it's so exciting to be able to get you close to that.
It'll be fabulous. Everyone, please sign up, schedule. It's lilyofthelight.com. We want you there. We want you to have fun and experience it and be inclusive with it. We're doing a class called Queering the Great Right and Between Liminal Spaces. So we have a lot of queer programming this year. We also have, like I said, music and music shares. So if you want to come and just jam out, that is available to you as well. We want everyone. We want everyone nice and fabulous. And we know Greg's listeners are nice and fabulous.
They are. They're some of the best listeners around. That's all I know. Lily McNamara, thank you very much. Once again, Samhain Symposium. That's this Saturday, October 28th. Go to lilyofthelight.com. Get your tickets. Also email there if you have any questions. Lily, thank you so very much for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Greg. This was fabulous. And thank you to all the listeners. I love you so much. And I appreciate that you listen to me ramble.
All righty. We'll be talking aliens tomorrow with Michael J. Warren. Take care, everybody.
Hi, Matt McNeil here. You're listening to the best progressive radio in Minnesota. It's AM 950.